Hey, Ron, looking back, so much was made when Kwesi traded for TJ Hawkinson. Some loved it, some hated it, some couldn't believe this guy's trading within the division again, something you typically don't see from GMs throughout the league. Now that we're here, though, week 12, full year later, in your opinion, was that the single greatest move Kwesi has made since he's been here? And then part two on that, do you think Hawkinson could go down as the greatest Viking tight end of all time when it's all said and done?
The greatest tight end, that's always going to be a debate. I saw Shannon Sharp just say, is he one of the greatest tight ends of all time? And he said no. He put Travis Kelce up there, Antonio Gates. Forgot the other two tight ends he put up there, but he didn't put himself. Oh, Gronk was the other one, but he didn't put himself up there. And then Gonzalez. And so Shannon Sharp even saying like, well, I mean, I've done everything I could do, at this level. I've got Super Bowls. I've got money. He said, I wouldn't trade my career for anybody else's. That's going to be, we'll see. Kyle Rudolph right now has the crown. TJ Hawkinson is a different receiver version of Kyle Rudolph. Kyle Rudolph was more of a bigger bodied tight end where TJ Hawkinson gives you true route running. We don't know because, is he going to spend 10 years with the Vikings? Maybe not. And so it's all down to how long he spends here for that. As far as the TJ Hawkinson move from a Kwesi standpoint, I'd say, yeah, it's one of his better moves. I think Jordan Addison is a great one. I think getting Dalton Reisner late is a great one. I don't know if I'll say that's the greatest move he's made so far, but it's one of his top ones. It was definitely something necessary. Clearly you see they needed it. TJ Hawkinson being one of the top targeted weapons on third down in the NFL, not just for tight ends, but for receivers, period. He's really become a staple to not just Kirk Cousins, because it was Kirk Cousins earlier who was getting it to him, and now Josh Dobbs. If not for some turnovers, some missed plays, some missed calls, the Vikings are 7-4. Mm-hmm. And it just feels a little bit different when you talk about the moves of TJ Hawkinson and Kwesi. But right now, after a loss, everybody's going to nitpick every single piece of this team. And some people could say, was it worth it to spend the money on him when you have Justin Jefferson Nassar? You can go back and forth on that when it comes to money. And then also with all these contracts, the salary cap is going to go up every year. But how long can they sustain a big-time Justin Jefferson contract, because it has to come, a big-time Christian Darrisaw contract, and a TJ Hawkinson contract? Mm-hmm. You got to sacrifice Daniil or somebody on the defense, or you got to sacrifice Kirk Cousins. So there's a lot of big contracts looming, where this used to be a defensive-led big contract team with just Kirk Cousins up there, and now you're kind of see the tide turn, because when they did give money to Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen, slowly they start saying, all right, let's trade this guy. Let's move on from this guy. And now, and they were comfortable with giving big-time defensive dollars. Now this has become a big-time offensive dollar-led team, and so we'll see if that's the recipe for success with a defense that just does what they're doing, which is stay in the top 15.